Ooh, give me the controversy.
Ooh,
Let's do it. Let's do it.
What if someone explicitly unconsents to deepfakes after they pass?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, Keaunu Reeves would like to have a word with you.
I would love to have a word with you. Oh, is this all I had to do?
There is a lot of speculation that she is not actually free.
Oh, no.
Or potentially even alive.
What?
Sisters Processing.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Sisters Processing. Processing. I am Ariel, otherwise known as aWanderingOrc.
And I'm Danny, otherwise known as Danny Dutch TV.
And I have a very small dog, about the size of my hand, sitting on my lap.
So this podcast, what's it going to be about? The point is not to lecture anyone. It's mostly to teach ourselves even more about tech. Yes. Using our wealth of knowledge that we have in the various aspects of tech.
Using our dabbling.
Diving deeper into topics every week. Yeah. And also looking at current events in tech and society and giving our opinions on those as well.
Yes. So basically we are never wrong. Never.
That's accurate, but also this is for entertainment purposes only. Please don't quote anything we say. Yeah. For a little bit of background, we used to do Twitch streaming as sisters streaming.
Yes.
The Living Gods.
Yep. Playing Elder Scrolls Online and The Witcher and everything.
Yeah.
And
videos are still up if you're interested in that. It's on Danny Dutch TV.
Yes.
But you have since kind of retired from Twitch.
I have.
What have you been working on?
I am trying to make my way as an indie game developer. I have a game coming out soon called One Fine Tourney. You can't find it on Steam yet, but maybe you will by the time this podcast comes out.
It's pretty close to done.
It's pretty close to done.
It's really cute.
Yep. It's getting right up on the end there.
And you promo it on Twitter. So what's your Twitter? Plug that.
The Twitter handle is the @ symbol, of course. NVR. Never skip game day. Well, everything else is very normal. Just the NVR is like I had to get rid of the E's because Twitter doesn't like long
the handle
words.
limits.
Yes.
Speaking of, we are sisters process on Twitter for the same reason. So
yes.
On everything else, we're sisters processing. So go ahead and give us a follow and a like and a subscribe, 5 stars, all that.
Yeah.
It's too early to know if you want to give this 5 stars. You can wait till the end.
No, just give it now and then take them away at the end.
Take them away. Whatever.
Yeah. Why not do it now?
I'm looking forward to your game. And
thank you.
You've been doing this for how many years? A decade at
least? This is very embarrassing. Yeah. I've actually been working on my game for, all right, keep in mind, working full time and also freelancing. I have to say that because...
But as like programming.
Yes. As a technical artist, as a 3D artist, and I've been working in tech graphic in some form for graphic design as well.
You do everything.
I've been working in the tech field in some form since about 2009. So yeah. So anyway, the game has taken 7 years.
That's okay. That's okay. We love that. But you also do like make a game in 48 hours.
Game
challenges,
jams.
Game jams. So
yes,
very talented, does it all.
Speaking of another person who does it all, Danny Dutch, you have a history in a great many things, video among them.
Yes, I've worked in videography, graphic design, advertising, a lot of advertising, and we'll get into that a little bit in some of these episodes. I also do Twitch streaming still, so you can check that out at Danny Dutch TV.
And... writing,
and we may be working on other projects together, but too soon to talk about that.
Oh, it's super secret.
It's top secret.
That's sisters processing.
You gotta keep watching.
Secret. This is where the 5 stars come in. You give it now, and we'll tell you the secret.
This is a hostage situation, actually.
And I think it's only right. It's only fair to ask this very tiny dog on my lap, Aloy, what do you do for a living? What have you done with your life?
I mostly sleep and I eat a little bit.
Oh my word. Wow.
That's about it.
Wow. That's excellent. That was Aloy, everybody.
Yeah.
Please, round of applause. I don't care where you are. You stand up. You give that round of applause.
Silent
You're
applause.
In church. You just stand up.
You're in the car. Stand up.
Stand up in
wherever
the car.
You are. Yeah. So, is there any news articles you saw today that you wanted to talk about.
You put a lot of faith in my morning routine, and I love that about you. So thank you.
Okay.
You make me feel better about myself, but also worse because I didn't do that.
You know what? No worries at all.
Yeah.
I have one for us. So I don't know if you've seen this yet. It's hot and fresh.
You are the
Off the
achiever
press.
for both of us. And I really appreciate that.
So I've kept all my sources hidden from her. So this is a surprise.
That's true. Everything is
So
hidden from me.
you know that Twitter now charges for verification
I am aware of
$8
that. Yes.
a month to get a little blue check mark.
Yes.
For anyone. Anyone can have it. Anyone can live out their verified dreams.
Yeah.
Have you ever wanted to live out those verified dreams on Instagram or Facebook?
Have I ever wanted to? Well, I have deleted my Instagram and my Facebook, so probably not.
Well, if you change your mind for $11.99 or $14.99 a month, you may live out those dreams if you do get inspired, because
Wow.
Zuckerberg has been inspired by Elon Musk and is now going to charge for Meta Verified.
Wow. Okay. So what does the verification do for you if you get it on Facebook or Instagram? Are they actually verifying your identity, or are you just paying? And
I believe the verification is your credit card.
oh my.
And, that's about all it takes. So this new feature is about increasing authenticity and security across our services, according to Zuckerberg.
You can always trust a Zuckerberg.
Yeah. So I think this is interesting. I think, paying for verification kind of defeats the purpose.
Oh, yeah. I think that Twitter actually displayed that brilliantly when they open up their own pay to verify plan, and it backfired horrendously, and people were copying celebrities, and that wasn't how it was supposed to go. I guess that wasn't how the rollout was supposed to go, but it is widely known as disastrous.
It's also very confusing. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not super mad at it, because it's, on one hand, maybe it's reducing anonymous accounts,
Perhaps.
but on the other hand, it's I'm not used to it and I don't like change. So
I understand. I mean, we went over this the other day. I'm very weird with change.
yeah.
It takes me a moment, and then one day I'll just be like, oh no, this is great. No, at first I'll be like, I hate this. Everything about it is wrong. And then the very next day I'll be like, no, I'm on board.
Yes, I'm what they call a late adapter.
Yeah.
But would I pay for a verification? No, I'm not going to do that. Would you?
Yeah. No, I don't think so. Well, it would really depend on the platform. If it was a platform that opened up and I'm like, this is a great platform, I would like to support it, what have you. But Twitter and Facebook and Insta have been around for a while. They've been free for a while. They've really been profiting off of people's data for a while.
Yeah, they're getting a little greedy, I think.
I think they are.
You know what? They can pay me for verification.
Yeah,
That's
that's how they should do
That's
it.
how I feel. I thought that was interesting. A little update. They're testing it in New Zealand and Australia right now. Maybe coming soon to a country near you, wherever you're watching from.
Meta, Facebook, and Twitter making check marks confusing at a locale near you. Yeah.
But that brings us to our main topic.
Today's topic is...
Deepfakes. I have an extensive collection of notes.
She does. I do not, but I have read some papers.
Yes.
And no, I have read a paper.
Exactly one.
And a couple of articles on deepfakes.
You are familiar with deepfakes. Do you have a loose definition for the people?
A deepfake is an image that is over... Okay, this is going to be a really bad definition. Hey, you said loose. I'm going to do this off the top of my head. Okay, so a deepfake is essentially taking imagery of one person and overlaying it, or I'm blanking on the word, over another person and making it look like that's them. I think the first deepfake I experienced was probably in 2016 or 2017. And it was, somebody was doing impressions of Tom Cruise or something, way back in the day.
Oh yeah, he's still kicking. They're still doing it.
I heard.
TikTok is alive and well. I think it's Deep Tom Cruise. That might be the handle. Double check me on that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still very convincing.
All right. Yeah, he's a very popular person to deepfake, apparently.
He really is. That's because he's such a character.
How were you able to maintain, just not get sick during the flight scenes?
It's really peak fitness, Howie. I'm always multitasking. So I got sick. I mean, a lot of those G's, I vomited, but I kept my mouth closed. I swallowed it.
Yeah.
Apparently, it took months of training the AI to get it just right, you need to find an actor that looks just like Tom Cruise, really.
An impressionist.
Layer that on top.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one took a little more effort.
Back in the day?
Yes, but the technology is getting so good. It takes less and less effort now. So we'll get into all that. But according to Merriam-Webster, I loved your definition, by the way.
Oh.
Deepfakes are an image or recording that has been convincingly altered and manipulated to misrepresent someone as doing or saying something that was not actually done or said.
I forget about the audio aspect.
Yeah, there's a lot to this. I'm going to hit you with a few facts, a few fun facts, hopefully, just so that we have a good reference point for what we're getting into. And then we're going to show you some fun examples. So the first deepfake software, do you have a guess when this technology came around?
I actually know the answer to this one.
Give it to us.
1997.
Did you look at my notes?
I looked at the thing.
Okay,
I did. No, I didn't. I didn't know. It was before she told me not to look at the notes.
Okay.
So it was like a while ago.
Trust broken.
So, yeah. No. It was before you told me.
I know. I'm kidding. So this was released in 1997 called Video Rewrite Program. So it was originally intended for movie dubbing, which would allow someone to sync the actor's lip motions to a new audio. So the term deepfake was actually coined by a Reddit user in 2017. So while the technology is old, the term itself is fairly new. The Reddit user, do you want to guess or do you know?
I do not know this one.
What
Is it their name?
What kind of deepfakes he posted?
Oh, no, that's definitely non-family friendly content.
Adult entertainment.
PG-13 in the 80s content.
Was it? This was 2017.
I don't know. PG-13 in the 80s was like way different than PG-13 now.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Okay. It was maybe a little bit harder than PG-13 in the 80s.
Neither of us can verify. We have not seen the deepfakes in question, but accordingly, it was X-rated videos that he was using it for, which is also a growing problem in society, and we will dive deeper into that later.
The little dog on my lap is looking up forlornly. She's, or very eagerly. She might just be willing to learn about deepfakes. Ayla, would you like to give a statement?
I don't really know what X-rated videos are, but I don't really use Reddit either. I'm more of a TikTok girl.
Oh, don't play, Ayla. You're the one that posted those original videos. We know.
We know your secrets.
We know it.
Well, it's growing in awareness. A UK study from iProve shows 72% of the public saying they've never even heard of a deepfake video. This is very alarming. This could create a lot of problems in society as more people can be easily convinced.
And that's in the UK?
Well, the study was from the UK.
It's across the pond.
Across the pond. Yeah. You
Yeah.
think it'd be different?
Not really. I don't really think so. I think it'd probably be pretty similar in the US. I do think that like you said, awareness is growing for deepfakes. Obviously, it's now starting to hit the news, right?
Right.
Yeah. That is pretty alarming, especially since I feel like sort of false media and false imagery has been so popularized and just widely spread, especially in like the last, I would say, since like 2015, 2016, especially since then, but even before then. I would say starting with Facebook and like moving to all the other platforms. Maybe I'm giving Facebook like kind of a bad rep there. That's just from
is it
my
undeserved
memory.
though? I don't know.
Facebook has gotten in quite some hot water over the years.
It has.
So,
it sure has. It's no angel. So
yeah.
that's a fair assessment, I think. A 2020 study by Nanyang Technological University found that 1 in 3 people who are aware of deepfakes say they have inadvertently shared them on social media. So speaking of, even people that are in the know can be fooled.
Okay.
So imagine the people that aren't in the know.
How did they find out that they shared the deepfakes though? Like they inadvertently shared them. How did they know that what they shared were deepfakes?
People probably corrected them.
Oh.
And then, yeah.
Oh, no.
Have you ever done that?
I don't know that I have shared a deepfake, and I don't think I've corrected anyone who shared a deepfake, so I don't think I've done either. Have you?
I've definitely been fooled, but I'm not much of a sharer.
I believe I've definitely been fooled by a hoax or two.
Oh, really? Tell us more about that.
Oh, man, it was a long time ago. Well, I won't say completely fooled, but somebody did that. Do you remember that guy was like flying with the bird wings or whatever? It wasn't bird wings. It was like some kind of, I was young.
I think I know
Things
what
were
you're...
different. It was more like I just wanted it to be real. He just created it because he thought it'd be fun to make a hoax.
You know what?
But
I've also been fooled by
have you?
hoaxes.
Oh,
Yes.
it's embarrassing to admit, but I did learn. And then,
Yes. Well,
yeah.
I had a slight obsession with mythological, supernatural
Oh yeah.
creatures when I was
Sure.
younger. And every time a picture surfaced of a chupacabra
Oh,
or
yeah.
a Bigfoot
Yeah.
or a merman, I believed it every single time. And I thought it was going to change the world and change my life.
I think you're fooling me right now.
I am not. Unfortunately, I am not.
I know. I love that. I wish
One day, though, one day we're going to find them.
I
All of
don't.
them.
Yeah, we will. They are real. That doesn't mean that they're not real.
Thank you.
All of those images are real.
Thank you.
Don't stop believing.
Parma says one of the big signs it's not a raccoon is its growl.
Coon don't make that noise, or a possum. What makes that noise? I guess chupacabra does. I don't know.
This isn't quite deepfakes, but I think it
Yeah.
shows the power of
Wanting
the
to
internet.
believe
And
as
wanting-
well.
yes.
Yeah, like if you already think a thing could be true, then it is that much easier to be
Yes.
fooled by the thing.
confirmation bias.
Yeah, so always question what it is that you're watching, no matter what. It's exhausting, but if you do it enough, maybe your brain will get super bulky. Maybe your head will grow bigger, and you'll have a muscular brain. And everyone loves a muscular
I
brain.
love big brains.
You can take that to the bank. That's absolutely true.
This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Just one more disclaimer there. All right. Well, now that we have gone over some fun facts, were they fun? Be honest.
I thought they were pretty fun.
Okay. Well, you can let us know in the comments.
I think we should.
Verified.
I think that we should have a boring fact day and then try to make them fun.
I like that.
These are fun facts.
Yeah.
But we should definitely pick the most boring. And any comments or anything out there, like if you have really boring facts, I'll try not to look at them. Danny can just tell me the boring facts. We'll make them fun.
Yes, I will filter out the best boring facts, and you will make them interesting.
Yeah.
That's a good challenge. I
Yeah.
like that.
Keep it fairly family friendly, But yeah, let's get the
PG-13 in the 80s.
PG-13 in the 80s at the very least safe.
Yep.
So yeah.
All right. So now that we have gotten the fun facts out of the way, we're going to hit you with some examples. Are you ready?
I am ready. I'm ready for this.
So this one is an example of a voice-changing software brought to you by 11 Labs,
Okay.
altering a speech presented by Leo DiCaprio to sound like different celebrities. You can tell us how accurate this is.
Okay.
I stand before you not as an expert, but as a concerned citizen.
One of the 400,000 people who marched in the streets of New York on Sunday.
And the billions of others around the world who want to solve our climate crisis.
Wow, that one's really good.
As an actor, I pretend for a living. I play fictitious characters,
Wow.
often solving fictitious problems.
I believe that mankind has looked at climate change in that same way.
That one's really
as
good
if it were
too.
fiction.
As if pretending that climate change wasn't real would somehow make it go away.
I don't know that one. You would know
But I
that
think
one.
we all know better than that now.
All right.
All right, we can talk about the other topic. Why don't I know who Kim Kardashian
That
is?
is kind of a mystery.
I knew who she was. I don't think I've ever heard her voice. So
Wow.
I've gone this long without hearing her voice, and I feel like a part of me has died. I feel like I lost something today.
Maybe you saved something.
Maybe I did. You know what? Something awakens within me. I feel a renewed vigor, and I can see why she's so popular. I think now.
Okay, we're
I'm
going
whole.
a little too far with this.
I think I'm whole. This has done it for me. No, that's so yeah, I just didn't know who she was, but I mean I knew, yeah. Anyway. So those voices all sounded really, really convincing to me. It is wild that they are AI and not like an impersonator.
Right.
Because I've heard impersonators do excellent like impersonations before, but that sounded really spot on.
Right. So most famously, this type of technology is used to fill in the gaps of movies, particularly when actors have passed away. An example of when a deepfake can be really beneficial. It's not always, super creepy.
Yeah, no, of course, any new technology can have really incredible and like beneficial results, I feel like.
Yeah.
Maybe
And I think it's pretty largely accepted when they do that. And they're pretty open about this person has passed away. We need to finish the movie. Let's use whatever technology we can to do so.
And by open, they even like advertise it openly. They're like, hey, check it out. We're going to show this person in the trailer for said movie and show you that it's going to happen.
Some famous examples of this. Paul Walker in Fast and Furious 7.
On set, a baseline performance was created with Paul's brothers, Caleb and Cody. However, it was vital for us to constantly reference footage from the previous Fast and Furious movies.
Carrie Fisher in Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker.
She was the first one I thought of.
Really?
Yeah.
The Rise of Skywalker sticks exclusively to archived footage and dialogue of Carrie Fisher from The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi using rotoscoping to clip out Fisher's whole face from that footage and superimposing it on a stand-in actor in these scenes.
Yeah, what did you think about that when you saw it? Did it take you out of the movie at all?
Honestly, I didn't realize it was a deepfake. I thought it was 3D. So that surprises me, finding out that it was a deepfake. But it kind of took me out a little bit, only because it wasn't perfect, I think. And I don't mean to analyze things like that, but having worked in sort of like the visual tech field for a while, I can't help but notice.
Can't shut your brain off like that. Yeah.
What did you think of it?
I think it took me out of it only in the sense that I was looking for it. Yeah.
That makes sense.
But I don't think it's a bad thing in those instances. I think it can be a bad thing, and it's not always accepted. There are some more controversial examples in death.
Ooh, give me the controversy.
Ooh,
Let's do it. Let's do it. What is this?
This one rubbed me the wrong way when it came out. So,
Okay.
A team of filmmakers made a documentary about Anthony Bourdain after he passed away.
Okay.
And they took one of his quotes and created a deepfake AI of his voice to read the quote out loud as if he were saying it.
Oh, no. I feel like that's controversial for a reason.
Yeah.
You were successful, and I am successful, and I'm wondering, are you happy?
That soundbite was something Bourdain wrote, but never actually said.
His tone is so important when somebody says something. Even if someone is quoted in print, like if they say it out loud, it can sound completely different than when you just like take it out of context and put it somewhere and someone's like, wow, that guy's a jerk. But if you hear it and they say it in a melodic voice, you can see like, oh, they were just joking or something like that.
Right.
So I do feel like that in particular, I do not like that. I think something that someone has never said for AI to like infer an inflection for them, I don't think is fair.
I agree.
Yeah.
And also, for anyone who's familiar with Anthony Bourdain, he's a very traditional, kind of old school guy. I don't know him. I don't think he would have wanted that. Although I will say that his estate did sign off on it.
Okay.
So his family was okay with it. Who knows if he would be okay with it or not. It's all speculation. I think without consent, of the estate, obviously it's wrong. With the estate, I can let it slide. But still rub me the wrong way.
I could see actually the estate changes things for me.
Yeah.
So if the documentary filmmakers actually brought the audio to the family and they said, hey, we're going to use this. This is what we want to do. And the family heard it and they're like, oh, that's how he would say it. I feel like that changes things a little bit. Like if these truly were the people who were closest to him in life, and they knew him very well, I think I would be okay with that as long as there's always a disclaimer that it's not really them saying it.
And I think that was part of the issue too. I think it came out after the fact, almost as if they were trying to hide it.
So there was no disclaimer, like right
Not
up
initially,
front. And
to my knowledge.
Can you tell me like, okay,
what he said?
No. There's going to be a lot of things that I don't know. Culturally, I'm a little bit out of the loop. But so Anthony Bourdain, he's a chef, right?
He is. I think he was a chef, but his main thing was he had a travel show where he would travel from city to city across the world and try food and
across the world.
People, that lived in the city.
Okay.
Another controversial example. You may have heard about this one, although you didn't know who Kim Kardashian was.
No, I knew who she was. I hadn't heard her voice.
All right.
So I am aware of who she is.
Do you know that she was married to Kanye West? Are you aware of this?
I am aware of that because I did see Trevor Noah like talking about essentially the breakup and all that like controversy around the breakup.
So you're not completely living under a rock.
Trevor Noah kept me current. Now he's not, doing the Daily Show anymore.
Kanye West on Kim Kardashian's 40th birthday.
Okay.
Gave her the gift of a hologram message from her deceased father.
How long has her father been deceased?
A very long time.
Very long time.
Very long time.
And were they married when he gave her this?
I believe so.
Okay. All right. Just for context.
Yeah.
Just so that I can like get the lay of the land here.
Yes, gave his wife. So they were married. This is according to CNN Entertainment.
Okay.
I will now play you the video and we can get your reaction.
I'm ready.
You're 40 and all grown up. You look beautiful, just like when you were a little girl. I watch over you and your sisters and brother and the kids every day.
It's kind of sweet, though. Okay, so he died in 2003, and she was 22, and now she's 40, and he gifts her this video of her dead father, of her deceased father.
So it didn't creep you out?
You know what? I'm sure I'm going to be like in the minority here, but I thought it was kind of sweet.
Yeah.
But what did she think of it? That's, I think, more important.
Well, it seemed like she really liked it. She
Did
thought
she?
it was really nice. She
Okay.
tweeted about it.
Okay.
She got a lot of replies that were questioning the whole ordeal, but I think she
Oh.
liked it a lot.
I feel that if she liked it, then it accomplished what it set out to do.
Yeah.
And then I have no problem with that. At that point, it's just a very thoughtful, intimate, personal gift. And I think it was probably gifted out of love. I can't imagine how else that would have been gifted. So that's...
Can you imagine the risk of gifting someone
Oh my word!
a hologram of their deceased parent?
You have to have maybe a lot of confidence, or maybe feel that you know a person really, really well in order to do that. There would be some pressure.
Yes.
Like, understatement.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other thing I will say is that they took data, audio visual data from 18 years prior?
Yeah.
And used it really well. It was very convincing. The hologram looked great. So it's another testament to how good the technology can get.
Yeah. So I can't believe that they got his voice as well. I think that's very impressive, because unless he spoke like high quality audio into something, like, man, AI is getting good. That machine learning is getting really, really good. You know what I do not know? What I'm not familiar with. Yeah. The audio is sounding so good to me that I bet that there's audio engineers out there that can like listen and be like, oh, that's not how a voice does it. That's not how like inflection like handles things quite right. You know, I wonder if, but for me, sounds real. Like that video that you showed me earlier, like with the Leo DiCaprio thing. That all sounded real to me. So I am betting there's some engineers out there that like could nail it, but I definitely can't.
Well, in September 2019, Facebook, Microsoft, Amazon Web Services, and several universities created a competition to develop deepfake detection capabilities. The challenge offered $1 million in prize money, and at the end of the challenge, the winning team was able to accurately detect deepfakes only 65% of the time.
I'm not surprised, and I will tell you why.
Why?
Because that was, you said, Facebook, Microsoft, Amazon, the largest, richest companies in the world other than Apple. If Apple got in on it, they'd, add quite a bit to the pile. And then they offer $1 million for an algorithm that's going to destroy deepfakes. $1 million? What is 1 million today? You can't even retire on that. No.
That's a really good point.
No, they should have offered $50 million.
Yeah.
They easily could have afforded it. So I'm not surprised.
I suppose if someone was able to do that, they would develop their own technology and sell it for much more than $1 million. Is that your point?
Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't they? I mean, why give it away for $1 million and put your years and years of experience? Now, this is just me just speaking strictly from a capitalist perspective. Like, it just doesn't make sense for them to only offer $1 million and then expect somebody to like, and also for like deepfake detections, they're probably asking for like really experienced programmers, people who are like, they're in it for a while. They understand AI. They've been working with AI, maybe been working with deepfakes, hopefully been working with deepfakes.
Right.
And then like being like, hey, will you destroy this algorithm for me for $1 million in prize money? And also like it being a challenge. Is it like, was it a race? Were people like trying to get the first one?
Not entirely sure.
Yeah, I just think that was done all kinds of wrong.
So going back to our examples, do you think consent can be given for deepfakes in death?
Oh boy. Okay. So this one is, you know what? I would probably go with like, we can talk a little bit about personality rights, which is something that I was looking up before. Mostly my reference came from Wikipedia. I'm just going to throw that out there. Just going to throw that out there. But also, this is where the research paper came in. And I did find I found a legitimate research paper.
Let's hear it.
So there is something called personality rights. It varies from, at least in the US, by state to state, essentially. And it is also known as the right of publicity, right? So like it is essentially you own your image you own, your identifiers,
Right.
your unique identifiers.
Okay.
So if somebody is like, it's treated as property rights in most cases. There have been like varying
Your likeness.
your likeness, your anything that makes you you. So if like a celebrity comes out and you can confuse, I almost think of it like trademark. This is how I had to interpret it in my mind to understand it. But if somebody comes out and they're pretending to be an actor, and somebody could actually confuse that actor for being the real actor, I believe then that probably falls under like right of publicity or personality rights. They could probably challenge it in court if someone was actually saying like, this is what this actor actually said,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Something like slander.
Yeah, but they didn't really do it. Now, obviously with deepfakes, it gets complicated. You have to probably prove it's
Damages,
not you.
right? Prove damages. What if someone explicitly unconsents to deepfakes after they pass?
Then I absolutely think that they should not do it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can't be forced to like give organs after you're dead, you shouldn't be forced to give away your likeness, I think.
That makes sense. Good rule.
However, as is such a thing with like, I don't think that this falls into intellectual property, but there is, of course, the rules with intellectual property that eventually it becomes public domain, right? Enough time goes by, somebody's been dead for a while, what have you, and it falls into the public domain. At least that's how it's supposed to go. I know that a while back it was extended. Anyway, so if indeed that falls into public domain, then maybe after like 80 years or something, or 60 years, or however long that period normally goes, maybe then that person's likeness could be used.
Okay. So even if they say, I do not want my image used after I pass.
Yeah, maybe.
Interesting.
Maybe.
Okay.
If it can potentially fall into some kind of public domain thing.
Well, Keaunu Reeves would like to have a word with you.
I would love to have a word with you. Oh, is this all I had to do? Oh my goodness.
Because he has altered his contracts to all of his films so that they cannot alter his performance with deepfakes.
All right.
A quote by Keanu. Can you do a Keanu voice?
I could try.
Yeah, read this in your Keanu voice.
Yeah, digitally. I don't mind if someone takes a blink out during an edit,
Reeves said.
But early on, in the early 2000s, it might have been the 90s, I had a performance changed. They added a tear to my face, and it was just like, huh? I was like, I don't even need to be here.
That was very good, Keanu.
Was it?
Yes.
Oh!
You don't even need the technology.
Call me. No, I'm kidding. Don't call me. No, that's weird. No, now I've just made it weird.
You made it weirder.
I did. It keeps getting weirder.
I think it's interesting that people have to think about that to begin with. I would like to say on record, I do not want anyone to deepfake me after I pass.
I would like to say on record, I don't want anyone to deepfake me without my consent at all.
That's I would also like to say on record the same thing.
Yes, but what if we're deepfake saying this right now, and then people don't know what we want? What if the
Well,
real us is out there somewhere?
Well, this is a new channel. Who's to say?
Who's
who
to say?
created it?
Sisters processing. Process that. Oh my.
Oh my.
Okay. Well, yeah, I honestly think that consent is really, really important when it comes to deepfakes, audio included. I think that especially in a case like this actually ties into AI for me in general. I think that you shouldn't be able to release something with a living artist or person who is still like existing. And I will just touch on this because this is a whole other topic. But I'm sure that you've heard of like sort of the controversy that's happened around like AI creating art.
Yes.
Okay. So there is one particular instance, and I cannot remember the name of the artist because I did not play Magic, but there is a like Magic the Gathering / like D&D famous artist who is like revered in the communities, and he is like very much like people ask to make art in his style. But he's still very much an active artist, making money as an artist. So with people like requesting to do things in his style, he is a bit worried that they are taking away money from him.
Right.
Which normally, like, if we didn't need money to survive, I feel like this would be a very different conversation. But unfortunately, that is the way of it. And so I kind of feel that way with music. I feel that way with audio. I feel that way with video. If you are like taking away someone's livelihood by taking their image or their voice or their art, like just don't do that, man.
Yeah.
It's like
You heard it here.
That's
Stop
a party.
it.
That's a party
Hey,
foul.
stop
Yeah. You party fouled hard, man.
It's amazing how much of this technology feeds into each other. It can be taken to an even further extreme. So are you familiar with the Free Britney movement?
I am familiar with the court case that she was, I think her father was, I cannot remember what the term is.
Conservatorship.
Okay, conservatorship, where he was running all her finances. She had to get permission, apparently, to have babies.
She was basically an adult child.
Yeah.
Legally.
Yeah. And she's like older than me, so that would have been difficult.
Yeah. And they
Yeah.
were still having her do performances, forcing her to work,
Yes.
taking her money from it.
But
her
not letting
profits.
her like live.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
And since then, since the Free Britney movement, it's gotten a
Mhm.
lot of publicity. She is supposedly free.
Yeah, she won that court case, I believe.
However,
Yes.
there is a lot of speculation that
Oh my.
she is not actually free.
Oh no.
Or potentially even alive.
What?
So
I have not heard this.
yes, so this is all conspiracy. This is all alleged. But there is about 26 years of audio and visual data, interviews, TV shows, performances. She's been
Yeah.
performing since she was a teenager.
She's been famous since she was like 16.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they have enough data, hypothetically,
Sure.
to put this together. We saw the hologram of
If
Kim
they could do it with
Kardashian's
Kim's
dad.
dad.
Then they could do it. Why couldn't they do it with Britney Spears?
I mean, sure. But why?
Why the speculation?
No, but haven't people seen her in concerts
She's not performed since.
since the conservatorship ended?
Correct. She has not necessarily been seen in public a lot either.
I know that she got married to her
Or
boyfriend.
did she?
Okay, I think she possibly got married
There was
to her boyfriend.
there were wedding photos,
Okay.
but a lot of speculation says that they were not exactly authentic.
How
And it was not necessarily her.
How convincing is the speculation? Are these like experts?
I will say
in-
I personally think there's a lot of merit to this speculation.
Does this go up there with all the magical creatures?
Listen,
Okay.
This is my chupacabra.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna let you have this. Yeah. You chase that chupacabra. Yeah.
So, listen.
Uh-huh.
Think about the people she's surrounded by
Sure.
through the conservatorship.
Oh, so you think they don't want to give up the money because she gave them a lot of money?
She is a moneymaker. Let's be real. She's Britney Spears.
Yeah, anything she does,
There is motive.
she's got the
right?
Midas touch. Yes.
She was dating her husband,
Mhm.
her now husband,
Yeah.
while she was in the conservatorship.
It's true.
Until the Free Britney movement blew up.
Uh-huh.
He didn't really say anything about the problems that she was going through.
Okay.
And now she is married to him,
Mm-hmm.
which is another legally binding contract.
It is, unless they got a really good prenup. But I know. Okay.
This is my chupacabra.
Okay, you roll with this. Okay, let's
Okay.
hear it. Do we have good pictures of what she looked like before?
Here is a photo. She looks, pretty standard,
Yep.
around 40-year-old woman.
Sure. Yeah.
And now we're going to go to her Instagram, which
Okay.
I don't know if I'm sure you haven't seen her Instagram. Being
No,
that you don't have it.
Yeah, I do not have an Instagram. So
But
no.
if anyone at home is familiar, it gets a little crazy on there. You never really know what to expect.
Okay, so I'm watching this video right now, and she's kind of like bopping around and swinging her hair, and she looks fairly young. Is that
Another thing to point out, there is a gap in her teeth.
Does she
where-
not normally have a gap in her teeth?
If you look at the older
Oh, she does
pictures,
not. She has
does not-
absolutely perfect
she does
teeth.
not have a gap in her
Holy crap! She doesn't have a gap in her teeth at all. Oh my God,
So-
your chupacabra is becoming real for me. I did not
Thank you.
expect
I'm
this.
glad
Oh
you are on board.
my! You gotta show me the other pictures of those mythical
I-
creatures because you might just convince me now.
I
Wow.
will. Wait till you see the merman.
Oh, okay.
but that's another
all
story.
right. Well, it has to be a real person pretending to be her in order to be the deepfake, right?
Yep. There is speculation that it is her sister, Jamie Lynn Spears, who she does not get along with.
I can't imagine a sister doing that. That would be like cult status, blow up, make history kind of crazy right there.
It would be, but she has a history of not getting along with her family very well.
Oh, by the way,
Yes.
If I ever pass away, I don't plan on it, but if I do, you have my permission to be me.
I do?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I feel like you'd make me better. So just so you know.
That's so nice.
I mean, obviously be you as well, but also be me.
If you ever pass away, I will continue this podcast with
Thank
me
you. Yes.
and me as you.
That's excellent. You right here, Sisters Processing. It will
We'll live
never
on
die.
forever.
Forever. Are they trying to make her look bad?
That's some of the speculation. Maybe to keep her within the conservatorship.
Or maybe, like, I don't want to say that she looks bad, but some of these look like she might be like, I don't know, questionably sober or something.
There are a lot of theories. In her conservatorship, she said that they were keeping her drugged.
That's true.
It's possible that that's still going on. But this is, again, all speculation. I know nothing. This is all just theories. Here's a video of her dancing.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
She's Britney Spears. Why does it look like it was filmed on a potato?
Yeah. Why does it look like that?
You can't hardly see her face. These are not the...
This
is not the Britney Spears dance moves.
I will say, I think Britney would
remember.
be... Do you think this is just someone they hired? It's not even Jamie Lynn? I feel like even her sister would probably do better than that.
Unless she's trying to make her look ridiculous.
However, what if, for whatever reason,
Uh-huh.
Britney Spears, for some reason, never intook any of the dance moves that she did, and she just copied them, but she can't recall them. And now she must flail wildly like me in a club. She's kind of doing a me right
That's
now.
what I'm saying. She should
Yeah.
not look like me while she's dancing.
No,
she should
it's-
look like Britney
It is
Spears.
fair. This is a fair point. You might be getting me here.
And she also alludes in a lot of her captions to not recognizing herself. This one she posted of herself and says, "Why do I look exactly like Jessica Simpson? Also, my face looks so pale." There's another one she posted more recently
Okay.
of her and her friends supposedly out at a tree. She says, "Another mystery," laughing emoji, ... "Me and friends went to visit my favorite tree last night. I take a pic with it every year," shrug. "Well, I stood in the exact same place as last year, ... Why the hell was the tree so damn big last year? Thinking face. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Sneeze emoji. Series of pictures, 3 pictures. The tree looks completely different.
Oh, weird. It does. Can you go back again? So it looks like the tree really is like giant in sort of the old picture. Technically, it could have been shot from possibly another angle.
Either way, she alludes in a lot of her captions to things not being as they seem.
How odd are this? Do you think now? How like? Do you think it's possible this could be like a publicity piece that they're trying to build something up and then like break some crazy news and then like be like, oh, but Britney's actually fine. She's just been in Malibu this whole time tanning. And here she's back.
It's definitely possible, but there have not been a lot of public sightings. In fact, her team released that she was going to New York City to vacation with her husband. Some pictures surfaced of her and her husband walking in New York City.
Uh-huh.
Everyone was like, wow, she looks great. Deepfake.
But did anyone else
Confirmed
get it?
deepfake.
Really? It was a confirmed deepfake?
Deepfake from fans. She was actually supposedly in Mexico.
Wait, but how do they know that the one in Mexico wasn't a deepfake?
Well, that was her video dancing. That was from Mexico.
Wait, so that one looked fake?
Yes.
So
they're all fake because she's not here anymore.
Wait, so it's like deepfakeception. So there's just like deepfake among deepfake and everyone's just making deepfakes of Britney Spears doing things. And somebody has like her Instagram password and is uploading a whole bunch of things.
It's not unheard of for
So
a celebrity to have people posting for them to social media.
Honestly, I think the fact that like whether or not this controversy is true, I think perfectly illustrates the concern around deepfakes.
Yes.
Because even just the thought, and hopefully like, because this is something that I have actually wondered, but even just the thought that someone could go missing and not have it be recognized because someone is covering it up with footage that looks like that person is alive and well, that is terrifying.
Yes.
It really is.
Yeah.
But, oh man, I mean, obviously they're not all bad, but that's a terrifying prospect.
Britney Spears also released a song with Elton John. It's a good song. They did not record it together.
What did Elton John say? Wait a minute.
I
Did
wish-
Elton John pass away?
No, Elton John's still alive.
Oh.
She released the song with Elton John. Hypothetically, there's enough data that could have been deepfaked, or there's speculation that she recorded it years prior and they just now mixed it into a song.
Okay. I would think that if any audio, like if there was enough audio on any like celebrity that would be absolutely audio deepfaked, Britney Spears would be at the top of the list.
Yeah.
She certainly would. And also her voice would lend to it very well.
Yes.
She doesn't
agreed.
often do, like she doesn't do the Whitney Houston thing where you go up high. She doesn't do Mariah Carey where you like kind of like, you know, do that super, super high pitched like tone. And she's not like an opera singer or anything. She's got a really nice like sort of even toned voice that would really lend itself well to AI.
Really would. It really would.
We're not saying it's true.
But we're not saying it's not.
Yeah.
There were pictures from her wedding.
Okay.
Not very good ones or not very clear ones of Miss Spears herself.
Okay.
And there were, however, very good videos and photos of her husband, Sam Asghari, and his family. And a lot of people at the reception dancing together. A lot of celebrities having a great time together. Paris Hilton, Selena Gomez, Madonna, all of these people enjoying her wedding. Britney Spears, not really any professional photos taken, no solo photos of the bride, just really weird, mysterious, half-shaded.
Yeah, no, that
photos
is.
of her.
I'm looking at a strange photo right now that appears to be a profile. And I will admit, like, it looks a bit weird, the shading on her neck. One of the things about this that struck me with what you just said was Madonna was there, right? And who else? Like,
Selena Gomez.
Selena
Paris
Gomez
Hilton.
and stuff. If any of those people had any kind of heart, don't you think they'd come out and be like, hey, Britney wasn't there? Or, you know, somebody would corroborate that it wasn't really her?
You would think so, unless they're in on it or they feel that they're doing her a favor because someone told them, hey, Britney's not feeling well. We need to make her look good. We need to make her look like she's healthy, in a good place, whatever.
Oh, that's an interesting thought.
I don't know. There's a lot to this. Honestly, I could spend hours and hours and hours talking about this.
You know, we should make a separate podcast.
Maybe
that's
we
just
should.
Conspiracy
Maybe
theories.
we should. I want to convince you fully that this is true.
I
even though
want to believe.
Listen,
I
again,
want to
I'm not
be
saying
convinced.
any of this is true.
But we're
It's
not
just-
saying it's not.
It's just theories.
Sisters processing.
Processing.
Yeah, we're just processing here.
Just processing.
Yeah.
Say it is true. Say, you know, maybe it's Britney, maybe it's anyone else. Just your favorite artist is putting on a virtual concert.
Okay.
Is
Yeah.
it the same as a live performance? Would you still want to go? And if you don't know it's them, does it matter?
Honestly, if it was just like a hologram or something, probably not. I'd just watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Or TV or something, or even put on a VR headset. I wouldn't leave my house.
For me, it's not the same. I don't know if I'm just, again, I'm a late adopter. You know, for me, it's not the same. It's not art. It doesn't feel right.
At what point does it become comparable to somebody lip syncing and not actually singing for you? Because they did that for a long time, including Britney Spears when she was younger.
Yeah, I suppose I see your point.
And then somebody got caught lip syncing on stage, and it might have actually been Britney Spears, or I could be confusing this, but and then it became popular to actually sing during concerts. Do you know who it was? It might have been like Jamie Lynn Spears on a TV show.
Oh, no, it was Ashley Simpson.
That's it. It was
And
a
she did
sister of a famous singer.
She
There
did
we
a
go.
little jig after.
Yes, that's right. And I am not
Yeah.
hating on Ashley Simpson. That would have been a very difficult moment to be in.
Yes.
But I think that kind of started the trend of like singers really singing again at their shows. But for a long time, I think lip syncing was very common. And that was one of the complaints. People were like, oh, if you're not really singing, why am I here? So I think that we're re-entering that question now. If you're not singing, if you're not dancing, why am I here?
If you're not actually here, why am I here?
Exactly. I really don't have an answer to that one yet.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't go.
No, I'm a purist.
Okay. I think it would really be wholly dependent, and it would definitely be consent dependent. And also everyone would have to know that it was fake.
Yeah.
I think that's very, very, very important because I think consent of the audience is important too.
Yeah.
And they are spending their money and they
Right.
think that they're getting a certain thing.
I don't think you can charge the same for the ticket at the very least.
I would agree with that.
Final point I want to talk about is going back to the origin of the word deepfake itself. AI spicy content. Swapping faces onto adult entertainers. This is a very common problem, mostly with entertainers, female entertainers specifically.
Yes.
Sensity's 2019 report detected over 14,000 total AI-altered videos online. Of those, 96% were used in explicit adult content. Of those, 100% of victims were women.
All right.
Does that surprise you?
It doesn't surprise me, but it is like terribly depressing.
Yeah.
It's not surprising, unfortunately.
The most recent example of this was a pretty massive Twitch scandal that blew up involving a streamer named Atrioc getting caught watching while on stream. He basically had a tab up with this website that contained deepfakes of some of his friends from Twitch: Pokimane, Sweet Anita, QT, Cinderella, Maya, Higa. I'm not familiar with any of these streamers, just for the record, but it was a pretty big controversy, enough so that I heard of it. So
I'm aware of Pokimane.
Okay, yeah. So I top streamers for sure. Quote from Sweet Anita: "They want to see you as a whore, no matter what you do, and they want to hate you for being a whore. It doesn't matter whether you participate; they'll make you participate in it." Sweet Anita says, "You can be objectified against your will. But if you self-objectify, you're a whore. And what makes matters worse is that in the most recent instance, someone else was making money off of their objectification."
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like for a long time, like in X-rated magazines and films and anything, like contracts were signed. People were like, "Oh, we can do this. You give me money. This is for my likeness, my image.
Right.
You want this? You give me money. Here's the contracts. Here's the terms. Everything was laid out, you know." And then now with this, it is essentially stealing again, stealing someone's income. It is stealing their opportunity to do this themselves, whether they want to or not. And they do not have to, obviously. But that's where it comes in. You can't just like steal somebody's image.
Yeah.
You have to I could see a future, and it might already be happening, in which actors, actresses, like whoever wants to actually participate in that sort of thing, like has a contract that people can then pay them for. And they're like, you can do this and on these particular acts or on these particular things.
Yes.
I could see that being the future. But yes, I think that it is definitely very legally questionable for one thing.
Yeah, and that's another thing. A lot of the legal system is still trying to figure out what exactly to do with deepfakes, since it is such a new technology, and how all these situations play out, setting precedents and whatnot.
Sure.
These women, I believe, are pressing charges and going to fight it in court, which
Good.
is great.
Good for them.
Which is great. But
Yeah.
it's also what happens when you don't have money to fight it. That's a concern. So
Very
hopefully
true.
they set precedent. In case it needs to be said, I think this is very obviously non-consensual. I think a lot of people think that it's almost a victimless crime because they say it's not actually them. What's the problem? But
oh no, this can ruin
it's a
people's
problem.
careers.
Yeah, it could really affect, your reputation.
Not just that, but who
and-
wants to see themselves represented in a way that does not represent them at all?
Yeah.
Like who wants to be, if you are prone to, let's take something innocuous. You say the same thing all the time.
Yep.
Someone takes something of you and they make you say the complete opposite, and that becomes very popular. That's not you. You're being misrepresented in an extreme degree, and people will get that confused. Some people will think it's real.
Yeah.
And they will think that's you. And now somebody else has control over your personal branding, over who you are. And that should never, ever be the case.
Right.
It should always be consensual. There should be contracts at the very least.
Yeah, and I think this kind of more extreme situation with higher consequences paints a larger picture for me on the other, lighter subjects where it's like, oh, well, can we use their likeness in this movie? And it just kind of colors that for me as far as consent goes when you put it in this context.
Sure. There should just always be contracts. There should always be consent. Also, this research paper, it actually goes over this a bit. So they did a lot of research on like copyright in general, and it's copyright versus personality ownership, essentially. And I am paraphrasing. I forgot the exact phrase, but they say that copyright, normally something like a deepfake, even X-rated deepfakes, would potentially be protected under copyright. However, copyright has very notably, even in court very recently, only protected human-created copyright. So it does not, as of yet, protect AI. And there is slight precedence, and I believe it's in the US. I think, yes, there was an artist. Well, he calls himself an artist. I don't know much about him.
Mhm.
He tried to get a copyright on an AI-generated image, and it was struck down, I believe, by the Copyright Office. And so he's resubmitting it.
Interesting.
But it will
Okay.
probably be struck down again right now. And they said specifically because copyright protects human created works. So in the case of deepfakes right now, again, it is very specific from like country to country. It is specific in purpose. It is specific as like it changes depending on the reason that somebody created it. Something like an X-rated like deepfake probably, I'm guessing, would not be likely to be like protected under free speech because you are stealing someone else's identity.
Mhm.
Something that is satire and obviously fake, that might actually be protected and
I could see
has
that.
been protected in terms of like images. Again, in the court cases they were talking about in Europe, and one in Austria, there was a politician, there was an artist who created a series of paintings of like famous politicians and actors and things, and they were all nude, but obviously artist renditions. And it was, the court ruled that it was obviously satire enough because the politician essentially took them to court to say like, you can't use that. And so they ruled that it was satire enough, it was fine. And then in France, the opposite happened, as a man painted intimate images, or I believe they were photographs, altered photographs and images of his ex-girlfriend. And she did not give consent. And he released them publicly. And she took him to court, and the court actually sided with her because she had not given her consent. So I think that I hope that the courts side with these entertainers who have not given their consent. And it is something that obviously can affect everything from their livelihoods to how people treat them, to just the kind of attitudes they get from people, the kind of threats they get from people. Like this is not a victimless crime. This is absolutely not a victimless crime. But so I think in that case they will. I'm really hoping they side with the entertainers.
It will be interesting to see how everything plays out legally.
Yes, I
I'm
agree.
hoping for the best.
Me too.
And there are obviously, it's just such an expansive topic.
It is. It's very
There are
nuanced.
also
It branches.
Yes. There are other issues with, financial fraud and impersonation of government. And,
politicians, that it's already happened.
we touched on the more personal dangers
We
of
did.
deepfakes,
We
but
did.
it truly could be, a nuclear disaster.
It could.
In some ways.
But in order to end the podcast, I want to ask you something.
Yes.
What is something that you hope deepfakes are used for in the future?
Honestly, just really good TikTok memes. I think that would be the best case scenario for me. I think just,
I'm with you.
lighthearted, just obvious parody satire.
Yeah, I am with you on the memes. I always welcome memes. Just something that's very obvious. Like I remember the Solid Snake memes for a very long time. I loved that. Nobody thought it was like copyright infringement. Nobody got it mixed up with Konami. They didn't think they were releasing it. But so I'm totally down for the memes. Yes. I could agree with that.
Anything silly and good faith.
Absolutely.
I'm down with.
Yeah.
So with that, we will leave it there. I'm sure a lot will come up. So if you have any questions or thoughts about deepfakes, please do write a comment or message us because we would love to know.
Yeah, sure. That would be great.
You can follow us on all our socials.
You
at
can.
Sisters Processing on
Yes.
Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
And Twitter is Sisters Process.
Sisters Process, yes.
Because Twitter has weird rules. So
Yes, and then you can also find us on all the major podcasting platforms. So please do remember to leave 5 stars. If we earned it. If you feel like we earned it.
Like, follow, subscribe, leave 5 stars, and then unleave 5 stars if you don't feel like we earned it.
And
There
then
you
leave
go.
5 stars.
Or just leave it and like forget on accident. But but thank you so much for tuning in. And
please do subscribe for episodes. We'll be releasing them every Tuesday at 5 a.m. Eastern time. And in future episodes, we'll want to answer any audience questions and feedback. So again, please do leave those comments.
Ooh. And we need those boring facts.
Oh, yes. Please don't forget to leave any boring facts.
And good for puns. If you do a boring fact about boring, give us that.
True. And Ariel will make them interesting or fun.
Indeed.
Fun.
Oh, we will make them fun.
We will
This
make
isn't
them-
just on me.
Okay,
I know I
okay.
instigated the challenge, but this is for both of
All
us.
right, I'm down for
Yeah.
some fun. So do you want to plug any channels? Do you have any channels to plug for us?
I would like.
Where can people find you on Twitter?
If anybody is interested in the game, they can find me at Never Skip Game Day. No E's in the never. Everything else is very predictable.
It's really cute. Please go follow. And then for me, you can follow me on Danny.TV on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, everything.
Because she is a person who wears many hats.
Many hats.
Many hats. Many social hats.
Yes. So right now I am streaming video games. So if you're into that sort of thing, check me out. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. This is so much fun. And we'll be back next time with some more tech and society.
To be decided. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sisters processing.